The notion that what fills your wine glass might be sabotaging your vitality in the bedroom is a reality many men over 60 grapple with unknowingly. That nightly ritual, often seen as a harmless indulgence or a way to unwind, could very well be the hidden culprit behind diminished firmness, waning energy, and a frustrating disconnect between desire and performance. Yet, within this complex relationship between alcohol and male sexual health lies a surprising, often overlooked truth. Not all wines are created equal. In fact, strategically chosen wines, consumed with precise intention and understanding, possess the potential to become powerful allies in your quest to reclaim the natural, robust erections you may have thought were lost to time. This isn't about wishful thinking, fleeting trends, or feel-good myths peddled by late-night infomercials. It's grounded in biochemistry, vascular physiology, and decades of clinical observation. I'm referring specifically to 5 distinct types of wine, each rich in unique bioactive compounds scientifically shown to enhance blood circulation, fortify testosterone production, reduce systemic inflammation, and ultimately, pave the way for firmer, longer-lasting erections that restore confidence and intimacy. My name is Dr. Clara John. As a board-certified urologist specializing in men's health for over 30 years, I've dedicated my career to helping men navigate the challenges of aging, particularly those affecting sexual function and overall vitality. I've witnessed firsthand the transformative power of lifestyle modifications that move beyond reliance on pharmaceuticals, pumps, or invasive procedures. What I share with you today isn't just theoretical knowledge, it's distilled wisdom from countless consultations, patient successes, and a deep understanding of how specific natural compounds interact with the aging male body. This perspective has the potential to fundamentally alter your perception of wine, shifting it from a potential liability to a calculated component of a holistic strategy for sustained sexual health. The common belief that alcohol universally kills erections isn't entirely wrong. Excessive consumption, binge drinking, and reliance on high-sugar, high-alcohol beverages undoubtedly impair neurological function, depress testosterone, and constrict blood vessels, leading to the dreaded whiskey dick. This effect is well documented and a significant concern. However, this represents only one facet of a multifaceted picture. The critical nuance, often missed, lies in the specific phytochemical profile of certain wines. Grapes, particularly specific varietals grown under particular conditions and processed thoughtfully, are reservoirs of potent molecules like resveratrol, flavonoids, including anthocyanins and quercetin, and polyphenol. These aren't mere antioxidants. They are active agents that engage directly with our vascular system, endocrine function, and inflammatory pathways. When harnessed correctly, meaning the right wine, in the right amount, at the right time, and paired with supportive habits, these compounds can actively counteract the physiological declines associated with aging. They can dilate arteries, nourish testosterone-producing cells, protect delicate capillary networks, soothe chronic low-grade inflammation, and enhance the very signaling molecules responsible for triggering and sustaining an erection. It's a targeted approach, leveraging nature's pharmacy to naturally restore what the passage of years may have eroded. This understanding forms the core of what I aim to convey. Within the confines of this discussion, I will meticulously unveil these 5 specific wine types that every man over 60 should understand and consider incorporating mindfully. For each, I will delve beyond the label, explaining the precise mechanisms by which their unique biochemical constituents exert their beneficial effects on sexual performance. You'll learn not just what they are, but how they work at a cellular and systemic level, how they interact with nitric oxide pathways, influence endothelial function, modulate hormone synthesis, and combat oxidative stress within the reproductive tissues. Crucially, I will provide clear, practical guidance on how often to consume each type for optimal benefit, emphasizing the razor-thin line between therapeutic moderation and counterproductive excess. Timing is equally important. Understanding when to enjoy these wines relative to meals and sleep can significantly impact their efficacy. Furthermore, I'll outline how these wines can synergistically contribute to waking up with renewed confidence, experiencing spontaneous desire more readily, and feeling a tangible sense of vitality returning. However, Knowledge of what to embrace is incomplete without awareness of what to avoid. Before we conclude, I will explicitly identify one common type of wine, often popular and readily available, that acts as a silent saboteur. This particular beverage harbors properties that actively undermine erectile function, often without immediate noticeable effects, gradually eroding performance from within. Understanding this hidden danger is paramount to ensuring your efforts yield positive results. To ensure you receive this vital information and future insights tailored specifically for men navigating their 60s, 70s, and beyond, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel and tap the notification bell. This simple action guarantees you won't miss out on practical, science-backed strategies for enhancing your health and well-being. Your engagement is invaluable. If this message resonates with your experiences or aspirations, please type the number 1 in the comments section below. If it doesn't align with your current situation, typing 0 provides equally useful feedback. This dialogue helps me refine and deliver content that truly serves your needs. Now, let's transition from the overarching principles to the tangible solutions, beginning with the foundational wine renowned for its profound impact on cardiovascular health, which is intrinsically linked to erectile strength. This wine isn't merely a popular dinner companion. It represents one of nature's most potent tools for enhancing blood flow, promoting arterial relaxation, and facilitating the achievement of firmer, more resilient erections. For men over 60 grappling with sluggish circulation, a primary contributor to erectile difficulties, integrating this specific wine could mark the beginning of a significant positive shift. Let's explore Pinot Noir, the heart-healthy circulation catalyst. Pinot Noir stands apart, not just for its elegant profile, but for its exceptional concentration of resveratrol, a polyphenol with remarkable biological activity. The memory remains vivid. A patient in his mid-60s sat across from me, his posture composed but his eyes revealing a deep-seated frustration. "Doctor," he confided, his voice steady yet tinged with an undercurrent of shame, "I feel invisible in my own bedroom. It's like my body just won't cooperate anymore." He recounted a familiar journey, trials with various pills, an array of supplements promising miracles, even devices advertised in the dim hours of the night. Nothing delivered consistent results, nothing restored the reliable firmness he once took for granted. It was at this juncture I introduced him to Pinot Noir. His reaction was predictable, a skeptical blink followed by, "Wine? You're suggesting wine will help me get hard again." My response was affirmative, but specific, not just any wine. Pinot Noir. This isn't folklore or wishful thinking, it's grounded in biochemistry. The significance of Pinot Noir lies in its unique physiology. Its thin-skinned grapes, typically cultivated in cooler climates, naturally yield lower sugar levels compared to many other reds. This translates into a lighter-bodied wine with a notably high polyphenol concentration relative to its alcohol and sugar content. Resveratrol, the star compound abundant in Pinot Noir, exerts a powerful effect known as vasodilation. As men age, the endothelial lining of blood vessels, the critical inner layer responsible for regulating blood flow, becomes less flexible. Inflammation sets in, arteries stiffen, a process called arteriosclerosis, and the lumen narrows. This progressive restriction of blood flow is arguably the single most common physiological reason erections weaken over time. An erection is fundamentally a hydraulic event, reliant on a rapid, substantial influx of blood into the spongy tissues of the penis, trapped there by constricting valves. When blood vessels are inflamed, stiff, or narrowed, this crucial surge is impeded. You might experience difficulty achieving initial firmness, or find that an erection fades prematurely during intimacy. This isn't necessarily a lack of libido, it's often a stark deficit in circulation. Pinot Noir, rich in resveratrol, acts as a natural vasodilator. It stimulates the production of nitric oxide, NO, the master signaling molecule that instructs the smooth muscle within blood vessel walls to relax. This relaxation allows the vessels to widen significantly, reducing vascular resistance and enabling blood to flow more freely, forcefully, and efficiently into the corpora cavernosa, the erectile chambers of the penis. Essentially, Pinot Noir helps your body clear the vascular pathways necessary for robust engorgement, doing so pharmacologically but without synthetic drugs. Its low sugar and moderate alcohol profile is another critical advantage. High sugar intake can exacerbate inflammation and negatively impact insulin sensitivity, both detrimental to vascular health and testosterone levels. Excessive alcohol directly suppresses testosterone synthesis and burdens the liver. Pinot Noir, consumed judiciously, offers vascular support without these significant hormonal or metabolic downsides, making it particularly suitable for older men already contending with age-related hormonal shifts. Returning to my patient, he committed to integrating just one 5-ounce glass of quality Pinot Noir into his evening routine, typically enjoyed with dinner, 3 to 4 nights per week. Within several weeks, he reported a noticeable change. "Morning erections," he remarked, a hint of surprise and relief in his voice. "They're back, and they feel substantial. It's like something inside is waking up." This awakening is precisely the circulatory revitalization Pinot Noir can facilitate. It promotes consistent, gentle support for vascular health, allowing erections to arise more naturally, feel fuller and more satisfying, and endure longer when achieved. However, the cornerstone principle here, non-negotiable, is moderation. The therapeutic window is narrow, one 5-ounce glass, 3 to 4 evenings per week. Straying beyond this, consuming larger volumes or drinking more frequently, crosses a threshold where alcohol's detrimental effects, liver stress, testosterone suppression, neuroinhibition, rapidly outweigh any vascular benefits. This approach is emphatically not about drinking more, it's about drinking smarter, with precise intention. Skepticism is natural. Can it truly be that straightforward? Just a glass of wine. The profound truth is that simplicity is frequently underestimated. We exist in a culture obsessed with complex solutions and instant transformations. Yet, the human body, especially as it ages, responds most profoundly to consistent, gentle nudges rather than drastic interventions. Small, deliberate actions, repeated faithfully, accumulate into significant physiological shifts. Enjoying Pinot Noir mindfully represents one such potent, small action. If you've abstained from wine entirely due to concerns about alcohol and erectile dysfunction, it's crucial to recognize the distinction. While chronic heavy drinking is unequivocally detrimental to sexual performance, the targeted, moderate consumption of specific wines like Pinot Noir can be strategically integrated into a holistic plan for natural sexual health maintenance. Over time, as improved circulation reduces vascular resistance and diminished inflammation enhances overall tissue responsiveness, you may discover heightened sensitivity to touch, quicker arousal responses, and a welcome return of spontaneity, elements of intimacy that often feel elusive later in life. This is the ultimate goal, not merely functional restoration, but the reclamation of freedom, the freedom to feel authentically like yourself, to engage in intimacy without apprehension, to approach your partner with renewed confidence and vitality. If Pinot Noir serves as the foundational support, quietly optimizing the plumbing system for robust blood flow, the next wine on our list introduces a different, equally crucial dimension: hormonal defense. This wine doesn't merely assist blood movement, it actively safeguards the very hormone that ignites desire, fuels drive, and underpins masculine energy. The identity of this wine might surprise you, and its mechanism of action is particularly fascinating. Let's proceed to Cabernet Sauvignon, the steadfast guardian of testosterone. Cabernet Sauvignon, often appreciated for its bold tannins and complex structure, holds a less recognized but vital secret: a rich array of potent flavonoids and polyphenol, notably quercetin. The relevance of this became strikingly clear during a consultation with Harold, a 68-year-old retired Navy officer. Disciplined, sharp, and carrying himself with quiet pride, Harold presented a different kind of struggle. "Dr. John," he began, leaning forward intently, "is my testosterone just gone? Kaput." He described a profound loss, dwindling energy reserves, a libido that seemed to evaporate, and erections that were frustratingly unreliable and lacked the firmness he remembered. "I don't feel like myself anymore," he admitted, the frustration palpable in his expression. "My wife is wonderful, patient, but I feel absent." My response to Harold, and the core message here, is pivotal. If you're over 60 and wrestling with weak erections, persistent fatigue, or a vanishing sex drive, your testosterone may not be irrevocably lost, but it is almost certainly under siege and in dire need of protection. This is where Cabernet Sauvignon enters the picture as a formidable ally. Its power lies in its dense concentration of antioxidants like quercetin, which scientific research indicates can significantly reduce oxidative stress within a critical location, the testicles, specifically targeting the Leydig cells. These specialized cells are the body's primary factories for testosterone production in men. As we age, these vital cells become increasingly vulnerable. Chronic inflammation, exposure to environmental toxins, and compromised blood flow inflict cumulative damage. This insidious assault leads to a gradual decline in testosterone output. The consequences cascade: diminished erection strength, waning sexual desire, reduced overall drive and motivation, and a pervasive loss of vitality. Cabernet Sauvignon acts like a molecular bodyguard for these indispensable Leydig cells. Its antioxidant compounds, particularly quercetin, neutralize harmful free radicals and reduce the inflammatory signals that degrade cellular function. By mitigating this oxidative and inflammatory damage, Cabernet helps preserve the functional capacity of the Leydig cells. Simultaneously, the polyphenols support improved microcirculation within the testicles, ensuring these cells receive adequate oxygen and nutrients. The result isn't necessarily a massive surge in testosterone production, though some modest increase is possible if cells are sufficiently protected and nourished, but rather the crucial preservation of existing testosterone levels and the prevention of further accelerated decline. It's about shielding the engine to prevent premature shutdown, not forcibly revving it beyond its natural capacity. Harold embraced this approach, incorporating half a glass of Cabernet Sauvignon into his evening meal 3 nights a week, consistently pairing it with a balanced dinner featuring leafy greens, lean protein, and healthy fats like olive oil. Approximately 6 weeks later, the shift in his demeanor was unmistakable. He met my gaze directly, a spark back in his eyes. "It's working," he stated simply, then elaborated, "that internal spark, it's flickering back to life. Mornings feel different, less like a slog. And," he added with a hint of pride, "I've started initiating intimacy again. I hadn't realized how much of me had faded away." That returning spark Harold described is the tangible sensation of testosterone stabilizing and exerting its influence. It's this hormonal balance that imbues erections with a sense of fullness, confidence, and reliability, not fragile or forced, but firm and naturally occurring. It's essential to maintain realistic expectations. Cabernet Sauvignon is not a replacement for medically necessary testosterone replacement therapy, TRT, in cases of clinically diagnosed, severe hypogonadism. However, for the vast majority of men experiencing age-related declines, the primary issue isn't a complete absence of testosterone, but rather an environment that actively damages the production machinery and accelerates loss. Modern life assaults Leydig cells relentlessly. Processed foods laden with inflammatory fats and sugars, chronic sleep deprivation, polypharmacy, especially statins and certain blood pressure medications, excessive alcohol consumption, and unrelenting stress all contribute to Leydig cell dysfunction. Cabernet Sauvignon, consumed moderately and integrated within a health-conscious lifestyle, becomes more than a beverage. It transforms into a strategic component of a defense system safeguarding your hormonal foundation. Moderation remains paramount. Mirroring the Pinot Noir protocol, limit consumption to 1 small glass, around 4 to 5 ounces, ideally 2 to 3 nights per week. Exceeding this consistently risks triggering the opposite effect, alcohol-induced suppression of the hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis, further depressing the testosterone you're striving to protect. To amplify the benefits, consider pairing your Cabernet Sauvignon with zinc-rich foods. Zinc is an essential mineral directly involved in testosterone synthesis and sperm production. Excellent dietary sources include oysters, beef, pumpkin seeds, lentils, and spinach. The synergy is powerful. The antioxidants in Cabernet protect the Leydig cells, while zinc provides a critical raw material those cells need to produce testosterone. This combination supports both hormonal health and the erectile function that relies on it. Many men navigate their later years burdened by the belief that their prime, particularly their sexual prime, is irrevocably past. The sense that passion and potency have silently slipped away can be profoundly disheartening. Yet, I assure you, decline is not an inevitability. There are accessible, natural pathways to reawaken the body, rekindle intimacy, and restore a deep sense of pride in your physical presence. Cabernet Sauvignon is not a magical elixir, but it is a potent, natural tool that can help restore your physiological edge, contributing to stronger erections, more spontaneous and reliable arousal, and ultimately, more meaningful and satisfying connections. Now, if Pinot Noir optimizes macrocirculation and Cabernet Sauvignon defends hormonal integrity, the next wine shifts focus to the most delicate level of the vascular system. It operates within the intricate network of tiny capillaries, particularly those deep within the pelvic region, to dramatically enhance responsiveness and the speed and power of your arousal response. This is a wine many men haven't even encountered, yet it could represent the crucial missing element for those struggling with sluggish or insufficient erectile firmness. Let's uncover the potential of blueberry wine, the microcirculation specialist. Beyond the familiar realm of grape wines lies a potent, often underestimated contender, blueberry wine. Crafted from the fruit itself, not grapes, it holds a unique key to unlocking improved erectile quality, particularly for men where compromised microcirculation is the core issue. Tom, a 72-year-old patient managing type 2 diabetes, embodied this challenge. He had battled weak, unreliable erections for nearly a decade. Oral medications, PDE5 inhibitors like Viagra or Cialis, that once offered some help seemed to lose effectiveness, leaving him resigned, believing his active sex life was conclusively over. When I suggested exploring blueberry wine, his reaction was one of genuine bewilderment. Blueberries? Made into wine? Seriously? My affirmation came with an explanation of the potent science within those berries. Blueberries are exceptionally rich in a specific class of flavonoids called anthocyanins. These are the pigments imparting the deep blue, purple, and red hues to the fruit, but their significance extends far beyond color. Anthocyanins possess a remarkable affinity for the vascular system, particularly the endothelium, the single-cell thick lining of all blood vessels, from the largest arteries down to the tiniest capillaries. Healthy endothelial function is absolutely critical for erections. When aroused, the endothelium releases nitric oxide, NO, which signals the smooth muscle in the vessel walls to relax, causing vasodilation and allowing blood to surge into the penis. As men age, and especially with conditions like diabetes, hypertension, or high cholesterol, the endothelium becomes dysfunctional. It produces less NO, becomes inflamed, and loses its responsiveness. The vessels, particularly the smaller arterioles and capillaries feeding the penile tissues, fail to dilate adequately. The result? Even with sufficient desire and reasonable macrocirculation, addressed by wines like Pinot Noir, the critical final delivery of high-pressure blood into the erectile chambers is impaired. Erections may be slow to develop, lack sufficient rigidity, or fade quickly. Blueberry wine offers a concentrated source of these bioactive anthocyanins. When consumed moderately, these compounds are absorbed and travel to the microvascular networks, including those crucial vessels within the penis and pelvic floor. They exert several beneficial effects. They enhance endothelial function, boosting NO production and sensitivity. They reduce oxidative stress and inflammation specifically within these delicate vessels. And they improve capillary density and blood flow, a process termed angiogenesis in damaged areas. Essentially, blueberry wine targets the last mile of erectile blood delivery, optimizing the tiny vessels responsible for the final, forceful engorgement that translates desire into tangible firmness. It promotes microcirculatory health, particularly vital in the pelvic region where efficient blood flow is non-negotiable for sustaining an erection. Managing expectations is important. Blueberry wine won't instantly reverse severe vascular disease or replace necessary medical interventions for conditions like diabetes. However, for men like Tom, where the primary barrier is endothelial dysfunction and impaired microcirculation rather than major arterial blockages or profound hormone deficiency, it can be a pivotal intervention. Tom committed to a small glass of dry blueberry wine, ensuring minimal added sugar, 3 times a week with dinner. After about 4 weeks, the change was subtle but profound. He returned, not with effusive declarations, but with a quiet, deeply meaningful statement. Things are better, document firmer. More reliable. Honestly, I didn't think I'd get that feeling back. That understated better encompasses a world of restored dignity, self-respect, and confidence. It signifies the body beginning to cooperate again, fostering a sense of wholeness that transcends the purely physical aspect of erection. For men over 60 facing challenges with inconsistent firmness, slow responsiveness, or erectile difficulties rooted in circulatory inefficiency, often accompanying high blood pressure, prediabetes, or diabetes, blueberry wine warrants serious consideration. A modest serving, half a glass, consumed 2 to 3 evenings per week is sufficient to deliver vascular support. Crucially, opt for a dry blueberry wine to avoid blood sugar spikes that would counteract the benefits. Finding it may require visiting specialty wine shops or exploring reputable online retailers, as it's less common than grape wines. The effort, however, is justified by the potential outcome. To maximize its microcirculatory effects, consider pairing blueberry wine with foods naturally high in dietary nitrates. These compounds are converted by oral bacteria into nitrites and then into nitric oxide within the body, synergizing powerfully with the anthocyanins. Excellent nitrate sources include beets, beetroot juice, arugula, spinach, celery, and lettuce. This combination, anthocyanins enhancing endothelial function and nitrates boosting NO availability, creates a potent 1-2 punch for improving the speed, strength, and sustainability of erections. Remember, robust macrocirculation, addressed by Pinot Noir, is essential, but it's the health of the microcirculation, facilitated by compounds like those in blueberry wine, that ensures that blood flow effectively translates into tangible, satisfying firmness where it matters most. Without this intricate network functioning optimally, desire remains unfulfilled. Blueberry wine is less a secret, more a specialized tool, a gentle yet potent ally in mitigating age-related microvascular decline. Progressing further, if blueberry wine targets the finest vessels, the next wine confronts a pervasive, systemic issue impacting virtually every older man I encounter: chronic, low-grade inflammation. This silent, simmering fire within the body is a major, often unrecognized, assassin of sexual vitality. The wine I'm about to discuss possesses a unique capacity to dampen this inflammation, restoring the internal calm and efficient function necessary for reliable performance. Let's examine rose, the inflammation-taming partner. Rose wine frequently suffers from misconceptions, dismissed as overly sweet, insubstantial, or perhaps not sufficiently masculine. This overlooks its significant therapeutic potential, particularly concerning inflammation. Frank, a 71-year-old retired construction foreman, exemplified the impact of unrecognized systemic inflammation. He described his predicament with characteristic bluntness. "Doc, I can start the engine, no problem. But keeping it running, that's where I fail. It's frustrating as hell, and frankly, embarrassing." His medical evaluation revealed clues: borderline elevated blood sugar, mild prostatic inflammation, and subtly raised C-reactive protein, CRP, levels, a key blood marker indicating systemic inflammation. This inflammation is far from trivial. It's a stealthy, relentless adversary to sexual health. Chronic inflammation damages the endothelium, narrowing blood vessels and impeding flow. It disrupts hormone signaling pathways, including those for testosterone. It generates oxidative stress that harms nerves and tissues. Crucially, it makes the entire system less responsive to arousal signals and less capable of sustaining the physiological cascade required for a firm erection. Over time, this underlying fire erodes reliability and confidence. My recommendation to Frank was unexpected. Incorporate a glass of dry rose, specifically made from grapes like Grenache or Syrah, 3 to 4 evenings per week alongside a clean, anti-inflammatory meal, abundant greens, lean protein, healthy fats. His skepticism was immediate. Rose? Pink wine. You're serious. The science, however, is compelling. Dry rose, particularly from darker-skinned grapes vinified with limited skin contact, retains a significant concentration of polyphenol, powerful plant-based anti-inflammatory and antioxidant compounds. These include flavonoids, phenolic acids, and still beans like resveratrol, albeit often in different proportions than deep reds. These polyphenol work systemically to reduce the production and activity of pro-inflammatory cytokines, signaling molecules like TNF-alpha and IL-6. They quench free radicals and modulate inflammatory pathways, like NF-κB. By calming this internal fire, rose helps alleviate the vascular constriction, hormonal disruption, and tissue stress caused by chronic inflammation. The result is an internal environment where blood vessels can relax more readily, nerve signals transmit more efficiently, and the body can respond more effectively to the cues for arousal and erection. Furthermore, rose typically boasts lower alcohol content compared to robust reds like Cabernet Sauvignon. This means it delivers polyphenolic benefits with less of the testosterone-suppressing and neuroinhibitory effects associated with higher alcohol intake, making it a particularly suitable choice for men concerned about hormonal balance. Frank followed the protocol. After roughly a month, the transformation extended beyond the bedroom. Didn't notice much at first, he reported, but then I realized I wasn't waking up feeling so stiff and achy all over. My joints felt looser. Then came the pivotal observation, and then one night, things just worked. No overthinking, no panic. It happened naturally. That hasn't happened in years. This anecdote perfectly illustrates the systemic nature of inflammation and its resolution. Reducing inflammation doesn't just target one symptom, it optimizes the entire physiological landscape. Arteries regain elasticity, the heart pumps against less resistance, nerve function improves, and crucially, the intricate network of vessels within the penis and pelvic floor becomes more responsive. Erections, once requiring immense effort and fraught with anxiety, can begin to emerge more spontaneously and reliably. Rose doesn't force an erection. It removes obstacles, creating conditions where natural function can resume. As always, moderation is critical. 1 5-ounce glass, consumed with food, is the therapeutic dose. This isn't about indulgence, though enjoyment is a welcome side effect. It's about utilizing the bioactive components in the wine deliberately to support your body's innate capacity for health and function. If you experience persistent joint discomfort, unexplained fatigue, slow recovery from exertion, or frustrating inconsistency in achieving or maintaining erections, underlying inflammation is a likely contributor. Dry rose, often dismissed due to its color or unfounded associations, could be a valuable, gentle intervention to help your system recalibrate. To enhance its anti-inflammatory effects, pair rose with foods known for their inflammation-fighting properties. Fatty fish rich in omega-3s, like salmon, mackerel, sardines, extra virgin olive oil, avocados, walnuts, leafy greens, and berries all complement rose's action. Additionally, incorporating light movement, like a 15 to 20-minute walk after your evening meal and wine, aids circulation, helps manage blood sugar, and supports the overall reduction of inflammatory markers. Frank's experience underscores the broader impact. I stopped worrying if I could perform. I just started living again. And that, he concluded, makes all the difference. The return of confidence and the ability to engage in intimacy without debilitating anxiety are profound victories. Rose, the unassuming anti-inflammatory ally, can play a significant role in achieving them. Building upon this foundation, if Pinot Noir optimizes flow, Cabernet protects hormones, blueberry wine refines microcirculation, and rose quiets inflammation, the final wine represents a direct, synergistic boost. This potent blend combines the inherent benefits of red wine with an extraordinary herbal extract, creating an erectile elixir that actively strengthens the vascular foundation of performance in real time. It's a revelation many men haven't encountered, but its potential is remarkable. Let's explore red wine infused with olive leaf extract. Conventional wisdom often overlooks the power of synergy. Walter, 66, had pursued numerous avenues: dietary improvements, regular low-impact exercise, and standard ED medications. Yet, consistency eluded him. "I can get there sometimes," he shared, frustration evident, "but holding it? Keeping it firm? That's the battle. And it feels like I'm losing ground." His underlying issues involved borderline hypertension and noticeable arterial stiffness, common culprits behind erections that initiate but fail to sustain sufficient rigidity. The solution I proposed was unconventional: a robust dry red wine, specifically infused with high-quality olive leaf extract. His initial reaction was a surprised chuckle. "Olive leaves? In wine? Now I've heard everything." However, understanding the underlying science transformed his skepticism into keen interest. Olive leaf extract is rich in a potent bioactive compound called oleuropein. Research demonstrates oleuropein's impressive capabilities. It effectively lowers elevated blood pressure by promoting vasodilation, improves arterial elasticity, and significantly enhances the body's production of nitric oxide, NO. As established, NO is the essential molecular trigger for penile erection, signaling the smooth muscle in the cavernosal arteries and sinusoids to relax and engorge with blood. Red wine, particularly varieties rich in polyphenol like Cabernet Sauvignon, Syrah, or Malbec, independently supports vascular health through its own vasodilatory and antioxidant effects. The synergy created by infusing it with olive leaf extract is profound. You're simultaneously delivering 1. The polyphenol from red wine that improve endothelial function and reduce oxidative stress, and 2. The oleuropein from olive leaf that directly boosts NO synthesis and promotes arterial relaxation, while also helping to lower blood pressure. This combination addresses both the initiation and the maintenance phases of an erection. It enhances the initial blood surge and supports the sustained pressure required to maintain firmness, particularly combating the tendency for erections to fade during intercourse, a common complaint related to vascular insufficiency or elevated blood pressure. For men like Walter, dealing with vascular stiffness or mild hypertension impacting performance, this combination can be transformative. Walter adopted a regimen of a small glass, around 4 ounces, of this infused wine 3 times weekly, always consumed with a meal. Within weeks, he reported a change that transcended the purely physical. "It's not just that it's firmer," he explained, searching for words. "It's that I'm not anxious anymore. I'm not constantly monitoring, worrying if it'll hold. My body, it feels like it's cooperating again, like it's back on my side." This restoration of trust in one's own physiology is invaluable and central to confident intimacy. The wine's dual action, supporting robust blood inflow while minimizing factors, like high pressure or arterial stiffness, that cause premature outflow or insufficient rigidity, fosters a sense of reliability. Finding commercially available red wine pre-infused with olive leaf extract might require searching specialty producers or high-end health-focused wine merchants. A practical alternative is to add a concentrated, high-quality olive leaf extract tincture, usually just 10 to 20 drops, directly to a standard glass of dry red wine yourself. Opt for a robust, dry red varietal, Cabernet Sauvignon, Syrah, Petite Syrah, Malbec, with deep color and high polyphenol content, and crucially, low residual sugar. The goal is maximum active compounds with minimal metabolic disruption. Moderation is, once again, essential. 1 small glass, a few times a week, is the therapeutic sweet spot. This approach exemplifies intelligent, natural enhancement, leveraging complementary bioactive compounds to provide a side effect-free boost that harmonizes with the body's own mechanisms. It represents a quiet empowerment for men seeking to reclaim their vitality and performance through informed, targeted choices. Understanding which wines to incorporate is fundamental, but unlocking their full potential requires integrating them within a supportive lifestyle framework. Simple, powerful habits surrounding your wine consumption can dramatically amplify its benefits, transforming a single glass into a catalyst for comprehensive improvement. Let's explore these crucial bonus strategies. The transformative potential of the wines discussed hinges significantly on the context in which they are consumed. I've observed repeatedly in my practice that two men can drink the identical wine in similar quantities, yet experience vastly different outcomes regarding erectile function. The determining factor invariably lies in their accompanying habits. These seemingly minor adjustments are not mere additions. They are essential multipliers that unlock the full physiological benefits of the wine's bioactive compounds. Drawing on 30 years of clinical experience, here are the key strategies to maximize the impact of your mindful wine consumption on sexual health. 1. Never consume wine on an empty stomach. This is non-negotiable. Alcohol absorption is significantly faster on an empty stomach, leading to sharper blood alcohol spikes, greater stress on the liver, and more pronounced neurological and hormonal disruptions. Consuming wine with a balanced meal, particularly one containing healthy fats, avocado, olive oil, nuts, fatty fish, slows alcohol absorption dramatically. This moderates the impact on the central nervous system and testosterone levels. Furthermore, fats aid in the absorption of fat-soluble polyphenol like resveratrol. The meal also stabilizes blood sugar, preventing insulin spikes that can promote inflammation and negatively affect vascular health. A wine paired with nutrient-dense food becomes a functional component of vascular nourishment, not just a beverage. Think of the meal as the essential delivery system and modulator for the wine's beneficial compounds. 2. Incorporate post-meal movement. Avoid collapsing onto the couch immediately after dinner and wine. Engage in gentle movement instead. A 15 to 20-minute walk is ideal. This simple act accomplishes several critical things. It stimulates overall circulation, enhancing blood flow throughout the body, including the pelvic region. It aids in glucose metabolism, helping to manage post-meal blood sugar levels. It promotes lymphatic drainage, and it can enhance the bioavailability and activity of the antioxidants consumed with the wine. The improved circulation directly supports the vasodilatory effects of the wine's compounds, facilitating better blood delivery to erectile tissues. James, a patient in his late 60s, attested to this. Started those slow walks after dinner, like you suggested. Now, waking up with firmness I honestly hadn't felt in a decade. It's consistent. This is physiology responding optimally to supportive habits. 3. Prioritize diligent hydration. Alcohol is a potent diuretic, actively dehydrating the body. Dehydration has severe consequences for erectile function. Blood volume decreases, blood viscosity increases, making it thicker and harder to pump. Circulation slows, and nutrient delivery to tissues, including the penis, is impaired. This directly counteracts the vascular benefits of the wine. To mitigate this, adopt a strict hydration protocol. For every 5-ounce glass of wine consumed, drink at least 8 ounces of water, ideally sipped alongside the wine or immediately afterward. Maintaining optimal hydration protects liver function, crucial for hormone metabolism, supports healthy blood volume and viscosity, ensures efficient nutrient transport, and helps maintain testosterone balance. Hydration ensures the wine works for your erections, not against them. 4. Protect sleep quality and duration. Sleep is the bedrock of hormonal health, particularly testosterone production. The majority of testosterone release occurs during deep, slow-wave sleep stages. Poor sleep quality, insufficient sleep duration, consistently less than 7 hours, or drinking alcohol too close to bedtime, disrupting sleep architecture, significantly suppresses testosterone synthesis. This directly undermines the efforts with wines like Cabernet Sauvignon. Therefore, if enjoying wine in the evening, finish your glass at least 3 hours before bedtime. Limit consumption to 1 glass to minimize sleep disruption. Prioritize consistent sleep and wake times. Ensure a dark, cool, quiet sleep environment, and manage stress to support deep, restorative sleep. Protecting your sleep protects your testosterone and, consequently, your erectile strength and libido. 5. Synergize with nitrate-rich foods. Intentionally pair your wine, especially those benefiting circulation, Pinot Noir, blueberry wine, olive leaf-infused red, with foods naturally high in dietary nitrates. As discussed earlier, nitrates, found abundantly in beets, beetroot juice, arugula, spinach, celery, Swiss chard, and lettuce, are converted by oral bacteria into nitrites, which are then further reduced to nitric oxide, NO, in the body. NO is the master vasodilator essential for erections. Consuming these foods alongside wine creates a powerful synergy. The polyphenol in the wine improve endothelial function and reduce oxidative stress, protecting NO and enhancing its effects, while the dietary nitrates provide a direct boost to NO availability. This combined action significantly amplifies the blood vessel relaxation and engorgement necessary for strong, sustainable erections. It's a simple dietary strategy with a potent physiological payoff. 6. Embrace consistency over intensity. Perhaps the most common pitfall is the abandonment of the protocol due to impatience. The body, especially an aging body, responds to sustained patterns, not isolated heroic efforts. Physiological changes, improved endothelial function, reduced inflammation, stabilized hormone levels, enhanced microcirculation, take time to manifest. Commit to the chosen wines and the supportive habits outlined above consistently for a minimum of 4 to 6 weeks before expecting noticeable results. This isn't a sprint, it's a recalibration. Stick with the small glass, the regular frequency, the paired meals, the walks, and the hydration. Allow the cumulative effect of these consistent, gentle interventions to build momentum. It's this steady, disciplined approach that yields the most profound and lasting improvements in energy, mood, confidence, and crucially, reliable erectile function. Reclaiming a sense of agency over your body is one of the most empowering gifts you can bestow upon yourself in later life. Having explored the 5 strategic wines and the essential lifestyle habits that maximize their efficacy, we arrive at the profound core of why this knowledge matters. Beyond the biochemistry, the vascular mechanics, and the hormonal interplay, lies a deeper human truth about vitality, connection, and the enduring capacity for joy. This concluding reflection ties it all together. Reaching this point signifies a meaningful commitment, a commitment to investing in your health, your intimate relationships, and the quality of your future years. As a physician with over 3 decades immersed in the unique challenges and triumphs of men navigating their 60s, 70s, and beyond, I've witnessed the profound psychological toll of resignation. It's tragically common to succumb to the belief that decline is inevitable, that the vibrant intimacy, physical strength, and deep-seated pleasure experienced earlier in life are relics of the past, forever out of reach. This narrative, however pervasive, is fundamentally flawed. Vitality, confidence, and fulfilling intimacy are not exclusive privileges of youth. They are attainable states at any age, provided you possess the knowledge and the willingness to adopt a different, more intentional approach. Your body possesses an inherent, often underestimated, capacity for resilience and restoration when given the correct support. We've traversed the landscape of 5 distinct wines, each far more than a mere beverage. They are, in essence, targeted natural interventions. Pinot Noir, the circulatory cornerstone, rich in resveratrol, working diligently to enhance blood flow and arterial flexibility, ensuring life-giving blood reaches its critical destination. Cabernet Sauvignon, the hormonal sentinel, fortified with protective flavonoids like quercetin, standing guard over your testosterone-producing cells to preserve drive, desire, and the hormonal foundation of performance. Blueberry wine, the microcirculation maestro, delivering concentrated anthocyanins to optimize the tiniest blood vessels and revitalize endothelial responsiveness deep within the pelvic region. Rose, The inflammation interceptor, harnessing specific polyphenol to quell systemic fires, reduce vascular resistance, and restore smooth, reliable physiological function. Red wine infused with olive leaf extract, the synergistic elixir, combining vascular support with a potent NO booster, oleuropine, to actively strengthen erections at their vascular foundation, enhancing both initiation and sustainment. These potent tools were then augmented by 6 pivotal lifestyle strategies designed to unlock their full potential. Consuming wine only with balanced meals, engaging in post-dinner movement, maintaining rigorous hydration, fiercely protecting sleep quality, strategically pairing wine with nitrate-rich foods, and above all, embracing unwavering consistency. These are not monumental tasks, but rather small, manageable shifts. Yet, when woven together consistently, they generate a powerful momentum, a positive cascade of physiological improvements that extend far beyond the bedroom. Momentum, particularly as we age, is the most precious currency. It fuels increased energy, stabilizes mood, rebuilds confidence, and fosters a renewed sense of connection with your own physical being. This is the essence of reclaiming agency. Ultimately, the significance of robust erections transcends the purely physical act. They are vital signs, potent indicators of overall circulatory health, hormonal balance, and nervous system integrity. They are deeply intertwined with self-confidence, influencing how you perceive yourself and how you engage with the world. They underpin the energy you bring to relationships, hobbies, and daily life. They are fundamental to intimacy, the ability to connect, to give and receive pleasure, to experience vulnerability and joy with a partner. That essential spark, the sense of aliveness and desire you may fear has dimmed, isn't extinguished. It often lies dormant, awaiting the right conditions, the removal of physiological obstacles, the provision of essential support, to rekindle. So, consider this an invitation. Perhaps tonight, you choose to pour a small, deliberate glass of one of these wines. You sit down, truly present, perhaps with your partner. You savor a meal rich in nourishing fats, proteins, and colorful plants. You rise afterward for a gentle walk, feeling the movement. In these quiet acts, you make a profound choice, not to wage war against your aging body, but to collaborate with it intelligently, compassionately, and strategically. You commit to working with its wisdom, providing it with the specific nutrients, compounds, and rhythms it needs to function optimally. With time, patience, and consistency, you may encounter a deeply rewarding surprise, the rediscovery of inherent strength, resilience, and capacity for pleasure you assumed was lost. Your most vibrant, confident, and fulfilling years are not consigned to history. Armed with understanding and applied wisdom, they can unfold anew, beginning with a conscious choice of what you pour into your glass and how you choose to live around it. Trust in the process, honor the wisdom of targeted moderation, and embrace the possibility of revitalization. The path back to feeling fully alive, connected, and potent after 60 may indeed start with the deliberate selection swirling within your glass.